The Vatican is updating its guidelines to communication with the paranormal. Oh, yeah, the supernatural. So buckle up, Buttercup. And when does this take place? Well, this is where it gets even cooler. So if we go back to the eclipse, April 8th, remember there's the talk of the 40 days after. I am one of those people saying, hey, something's going to happen 40 days after. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be bad. I don't know what it's going to be, but something's definitely going to happen that's going to be pretty powerful. Well, that date is May 18th, but depending on the time zones, it's 39 to 40 days away. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't this incredible? Let me read this to you. And it's about time because the Vatican clearly knows about the supernatural. I mean, they even have guidelines for exorcisms. Now, what's even more fascinating is the amount of information that they have tucked away, that they have kind of kept under wraps for many years in the Vatican catacombs. And you have to be privy to a lot of this information. So let's see what these updates are and also talk about smoking hot. Wow. So I don't know if you've called Noble Gold Investments yet or not, but if you've got a 401 or an IRA, now's the time to call. If you qualify, if you set up an account with Noble Gold, they will gift you a 1/4 ounce solid gold coin at no additional cost to add to your collection. Now, this is a nice addition to any collection, and many experts agree that 2024, 2025 is going to have huge upside for gold. There's obviously never any guarantee, so you follow what the money funders are doing. And when you look at what the big banks are doing, they are still usurping literally tons of gold. If you go back and watch some of the previous podcasts that I've done recently, I describe exactly how many tons of gold have been purchased by big banks of foreign governments. Governments from around the world literally are purchasing gold right now. So give them a call. And also, if you're into silver, silver tards unite. Silver's looking pretty hot also. And a lot of people are building their banks with silver. They're buying dimes and quarters from like the 60s and before when silver was 90% in these coins. And they're stacking them that way because if you ever need to exchange, if you ever need to trade with metals, that's a great form of exchange. It's a great way to build your bank. Give them a call, 1-877-646-5347. Let them know Rex from Leak Project sent you. Get the free ebooks at leakprojectgold.com and noblegoldinvestments.com. Okay, buckle up, Buttercup. Let's get into this right now. Do you like the background? It's kind of catchy, right? It's my favorite. Fox News, Vatican preparing guidance on discerning supernatural. The Vatican is preparing to release a document giving guidance on how to discern supernatural phenomena. American Magazine, Vatican to publish updated norms for investigating the alleged supernatural. We can read about this from, let's go to this one. Charisma. This is an interesting headline. Vatican braces for surge in supernatural events right around the time of the 40 days after the eclipse over the new Babylon. People have to wonder what's in store for humanity as the home of the world's most powerful religious organization, aka the Vatican, is preparing new guidance and guidelines on how to deal with supernatural phenomena. Is this a clue as what to expect we're going to see in the near future? Is this going to have something to do with disclosure? Oh, they're not really aliens, but they're interdimensionals. As reported by Fox News, the Holy See Press Office announced the upcoming document is going to be published on the 17th of May, which is literally the 39th day after the eclipse, right there on the cusp of the 40th day, which we've been talking about. There's going to be a live stream event, a press conference featuring prefect for the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith, Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez. This shouldn't come as a shocking topic because it seems many today have abandoned the supernatural aspect of the Bible, even though spiritual warfare against what many people refer to as demons or principalities or powers and rulers of darkness or those that you can't see. Now, that's obviously opinion piece there. But what is an opinion is the fact that this disclosure date of new guidelines on how to deal with the supernatural is literally coming out the 39th day after the eclipse. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty darn cool. Now, I want to read, they have to verify that I'm human. Tricked you. Cardinal Fernández, new document on discerning apparitions being finalized right now. You can read about this, the National Catholic Register. The last time the Vatican's doctrinal office issued a general document on apparitions was in 1978, during the final months of the pontificate of Pope Paul VI. Newly appointed Cardinal Prefect of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith, Victor Manuel Fernandez, poses during the courtesy visits to the new cardinals of the Apostolic Palace on September 30th, 2023. Man, look at how cool that outfit is the guy's wearing next to him, man. That's like, he looks like the Joker. So the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith is putting the final touches to a new document that sets out to clear rules on discerning apparitions and other such supernatural events. The Dicastery's prefect, Cardinal Victor Fernandez, told the Register April 23rd that he and his staff are in the process of finalizing a new text with clear guidelines and norms for the discernment of apparitions and other phenomena. The Cardinal, who met with Pope Francis in private audience on Monday, did not divulge any further details on the document or when it would be published. The last time the Vatican's doctrinal office issued a general document on apparitions was in 78 during the final months of the pontificate of Pope Paul VI. In norms regarding the manner of proceedings in the discernment of presumed apparitions or revelations, the then Sacred Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, headed by Croatian Cardinal Frano Sipur, outlined the process the Catholic Church follows when investigating alleged apparitions or revelations. The document stated that the Church's responsibility is to first judge the facts, then permit public devotion if the examination is favorable, and finally make a judgment on the authenticity and supernatural character of the event. The document also outlined the position and negative criteria ecclesiastical authorities should be involved, including eventually the Holy See. It stressed that extreme prudence should be used when investigating the facts. Now, there is a passage, number 67, stating that private revelations did not belong to the deposit of faith, and adds that it is not their role to improve or complete Christ's definitive revelation, but to help live more fully by it in a certain period of history. It then goes on to add, guided by the magisterium of the Church, the sensus fidelium knows how to discern and welcome in these revelations whatever constitutes an authentic call of Christ or his saints to the Church. Pope St. Pius X also touched on apparitions in his 1907 Pascendi Dominici Gregis, in which he stated that the Church exercises great prudence in this matter, allowing such traditions to be narrated only with caution, and the disclaimer that the Church does not guarantee the truth of the facts narrated. There's also private revelations written in 1913 in the Catholic Encyclopedia, stating that private revelations are constantly occurring among Christians, and that when the Church approves them, it declares only that there is nothing contrary to faith or morals, but does not impose an obligation to believe them. Last month, the DDF released a long-hidden decree from 1951, which had declared that the alleged 1948 apparition in the Philippines of the Virgin Mary in Lipa, also known as Our Lady of Mediatrix of All Graces, was not supernatural. For many years, the apparition has been a source of tension between those who had believed it to be authentic in the Catholic hierarchy in the Philippines. Now, this alleged apparition, where the Virgin Mary reportedly appeared to a 21-year-old in Lipa City for 15 days beginning on September 12, 1948, was investigated and was referred to Rome, after which the Vatican declared it wasn't supernatural. The DDF made the 1951 decree public after a Dominican exorcist priest, Father Winston Cabading, was sued in the Philippines for offending religious feelings after discrediting the Lipa apparition. A judge dismissed the case against him on the grounds of insufficient evidence. So I will leave the links in the video description box for that as well. I find this very interesting timing, and I also find it very odd how, if I'm not mistaken, it's either last year or the year before when the Vatican had this display for Christmas, and it was a mix of like barbarians, ancient Babylon, and ancient aliens or like astronauts. Very bizarre. It's pretty cool, but it was very bizarre, but maybe not. I mean, maybe it was actually the opposite. Still, I wasn't expecting to see that. And the timing with this, right? We've got these disclosure conferences that are taking place where the powers that be seem to be battling with other factions. And there's all these attempts to bring out disclosure and then attempts to discredit it, to keep people in this constant confusion. What's real, what isn't. And so clearly it seems that there is this push for a disclosure of some type, and whether or not it's interdimensional, extraterrestrial, or both, or something that they will attempt to link to biblical times. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's fascinating. I'll give you my opinion. I think that they're going to share with us just little bits and pieces that will continue to remind the world that there is more than just this 3D reality. I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to be like beyond over the top. But the timing's really cool with the May 17th date. So keep that in mind. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. If you check us out on Patreon, I just uploaded a 2.5 hour interview with Dr. Kevin Hogan that people literally spend tens of thousands of dollars and go to countless seminars to get a fraction of the information that Dr. Kevin Hogan gave in this Patreon. So go watch it. You'll thank me later. Become a Patreon. You can be a Patreon for like $1. I'm probably going to have to raise the price on this pretty soon because it isn't cheap to do podcasts all day, even though it's in my garage. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. Hit the bell. Be well. Have a beautiful day. Be excellent to each other and be the change you want to see. Nanny, nanny.